Hello again, everybody. There's Mary Hall. Here we
Guys.
are at the H5, we decided to call it. My name is Dale DuFay, and Mary and I want to show you what we did yesterday. A very crucial step in the bathroom work. We're totally remodeling this bathroom. It wasn't intended. We were initially just going to do the tub surround, and boom, it turned into this. But yes, we got the pink all installed. Look at that. That's 2-inch thick styrofoam, real sturdy, and of course high insulation value. But the big deal of it is it acted as a form. Remember that big void in this area? That's where the opening was. We obviously formed it on the outside, and then which that form will be removed and exposed to concrete along with the cinder block outside. But inside, the pink acts as a form, and we filled all of that with concrete, and then also this side and mortar. We had 12 bags of concrete, which wasn't quite enough because this is a large cavity here, and so we mixed the whole sack of mortar as well and put it on top. And now the next step is to skim coat the top of all of this, the top edge of the pink and the top of the cinder block, top of the cement work we did, with about a 1/2-inch thick layer of mortar, which we're gonna do, mix up. And then, there's a couple of cavities we have to fill. Oh, by the way, I did fill the cinder block with the sand we have inside the pit here. So the cinder blocks are all filled as well. But we're gonna skim coat the whole top of that with a 1/2-inch thick layer of high grade mortar, and then we're gonna bed and lay down on top of all of that 2x10. Just lay it on there and bed it on, and then the 2x10 will be seated on there. And then the important thing is it'll be totally sealed in. So from the top plate of the cinder block, which is the 2x10, all the way down to the ground, will be thoroughly insulated. It'll never ever get cold in that crawl space again. I mean, it might get cold, but it'll never get below freezing ever again. And to make sure of that, we'll put a space heater down there in case, one of those severe occasions where it might get below freezing. I doubt it. I seriously doubt it. I really do. Once the bathroom gets insulated and the upper part gets all completed and warm all the time, or a constant 72 degrees or whatever, this crawl space will remain warm as well. Not as warm as the upper part, of course, but the fact that the upper part is warm and the lower part is heavily insulated, it'll never freeze down there. I guarantee it. Those pipes will never freeze down there once we're done the way we're doing it. And I was talking to Mary this morning. I mean, who else would do something like this in this way, in this manner? Just wait. I gotta zoom out a little bit so I can look at Mary. There she is. Nobody just does fools. But anyway, this is the way to do it. I'm telling you. We could have, put another access panel there and framed it out and maybe insulated it the best we could have, and did whatever we could here with wood or whatever, but we chose to do it the proper way, and like they never did in the first place, and fill the cinder blocks to create that insulation, that R value, and the voids with concrete, and that's what we did. And now look at it. We're going to remove all those. We glued. Let me step down in there, show you. We glued all the styrofoam on the cinder block with a special adhesive, specifically formulated to do just that. And you can see we had that, these braces put up to hold it in, and they worked beautifully. I'm really excited. That really held nice. And then of course these cross braces here from coast to coast to hold it in. This is longer than 8 feet, so we had to scab in those pieces on each side. We kept it full on this side because of the form, because of it acting as a form. You can see, boy, the concrete wanted to bulge that out a little bit, but this side really held tight. This concrete actually was from the top all the way down to the bottom. is full. This whole section here is full of concrete. And you can tell we braced it really good. It didn't bulge. Plus the 2-inch thick, styrofoam. Again, this is all going to be bedded with mortar and top plate, capped with a 2x10. The reason we got a 2x10 is because the block's only 8 inches, but we got the 2x10 because we want to go over. We want the 2x10 to be flush with this, and then seal really good. And if there's like any gaps left, we'll fill them, with the mortar and stuff. And then the joists, then we put the joists in. I forgive my finger there. And still haven't found our holder. Still haven't found it. Oh well.
It just disappeared.
Yeah, it disappeared. So that's our plan today. Get the joists in, man. And then once the joists are in, we can do all the rough plumbing, get the drains. The shower's going to be right here. Toilet's going to be right here. And there's going to be a wall right here. And then the vanity is going to be right here where it was originally. So, and then we'll have all this space right here, basically open. So I'm gonna do an access panel right here in the middle between these two joists. Make a nice access panel because we blocked the original one off with concrete. I don't know if you guys want to follow me out there and check out the form. What you see is what we're gonna see for the first time. So I don't know if it's gonna be surprising. Let's step out, boy. Good thing we got this drop cloth here. But anyway, let's head on out. This is through our galley kitchen. Whoops, weren't supposed to see that. Here's our little shop. We got this 1/2-inch, for the walls, where the sheathing we hit was rotten, totally rotten, that we had to remove. We're using that as a replacement before we put the studs in. Let's head on out. Let's go around to this side of the house. My directions are kind of messed up here. I got to get them straightened out. Which way we're going? Oh, we got to check that shut-off valve downstairs because the spigot's right there, and we were using it with the concrete. Here's where the drain goes into the septic tank. Here's where, this is all just floating here. Look at that. But once we get it all done in there, it'll all be tied in. All right, you can see I set up a form here. This is where we poured the concrete. Let's take a look. Mary, can you either hold the camera? This is gonna go. I didn't want to do it while I wanted to get the concrete in first. All right, I'm gonna move this form here. I just use these blocks to hold it in instead of, doing stakes and all that. This was the access panel to the crawl space. Who wants to get in through there?
All right.
You can feel the heat from the curing concrete. All right. Like I said, this is all. I'm gonna probably have to get my hammer. But back there is the concrete. Ooh, you can feel the heat. Incredible heat coming out of there. But that's why I want to remove the form so it can breathe, but I need to get a pry bar. And then here was a big opening here. I didn't even bother really blocking it off. I put this block there to hold it. This is the old vent. But anyway, this is gonna go. Our vent's gonna come out of the wall. We're not gonna bother going through the roof, but it works. All right, let me get the. Thanks, Mary.
You're welcome.
I haven't checked it, but I'm probably sure you did a good job. Here's the block wall on the outside. I don't know if we're gonna do anything out here. Half tempted to put some pink out here too, but look at all this stuff. This is all from the tear out in the bathroom still. It's just stuff falling outside. What a mess. Here's the vent for the vanity. Again, when you vent something, when you vent plumbing, it's always supposed to be above the top of the sink. Say you had a sink here and you have your vent behind the wall. the vent taps into the main part above. This should be above the sink line, which is about here. So the vent's too low. It should be here or above. So we're gonna go way above, bring it out the wall and come up. So, you know, it's supposed to go through the roof, but I'm not gonna touch this roof here. I'm not even gonna look at it. But at least at least it looks like it's not leaking or anything. So it should be fine. All right, Mary, we've gone past 10 minutes.
You're in trouble.
Is there anything? See, look at her. She's working while we're doing the video. Please stop that working.
Not working. I'm hooking
Please
my
stop.
hooks up.
It's something that could have been
No,
done
I'm not working.
after the video was over with.
I love you guys, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day.
Alrighty, so with that, oh no, we got another. I don't mean to change the subject, but you're standing by a heating oil tank that we have to fill up. Yip-de-doo.
Oh,
Ladies and gentlemen,
and it's
that's about
almost on E.
$600 and $700 to fill that thing. And I
Yeah.
just heard that heating oil went up, who knows, 15%, I think, just today. So who knows what it's
That's
going to cost to
insane.
fill that thing. Anyway, with that happy note, Mary and I thank you for watching.
Us poor people, thank you for watching.
Yeah. Just because it's $700 doesn't mean we're poor, you know.
Yes, it does.
But the fact remains we are poor. So with that, we thank you again for watching, and we'll talk at you later. Love you.